one of the coolest dress watches you could get from any manufacturer we're about to highlight here at SwissWatchExpo. Fresh from the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo, we've got one of the coolest watches I think we've ever gotten in. And if you're a fan of top tier watches that are a little under the radar, this one might be just for you. It is made by Blancpain, which is one of the oldest watch companies in the world. They were founded in the early 1700s. They stayed a family endeavor for about 200 years. And eventually they were sold a couple of times, but now they're part of the Swatch Group. So they're the world's largest watch company. You know they're not going anywhere, but they're absolutely a top tier watch brand. So the Swatch Group also, you might not be familiar with them, but they own other companies that are real high end like Breguet and Omega. So don't just think of them as a little plastic strap-on watch. But the great thing about this watch, Blancpain has said that part of their kind of ethos as a brand is that they've never made a quartz watch and they never will. So even during all of the quartz crisis of the 70s, they never went down that road. They make really amazing, complicated watches with incredible movements. They have patented loads of things at the company. They're really one of the innovators and really, truly below the radar for a lot of people. Now, this watch is a phenomenal value at SwissWatchExpo. We've got it for lower than what my employee discount would have been when I worked for one of the companies that sold these watches. So it's a great deal and a way for you to pick up a watch that has an incredible heritage, beautiful case, gorgeous dial, and an amazing movement at arguably a great price. So on this watch, one of the first things you notice right off is that the dial is bright, bright white. I had it turned so that I could read it, not so you could read it, but that's okay. You can look at it this way. The dial is enamel. It's not just a painted lacquer. It is a process that uses glass beads and high temperatures to produce an enamel dial. It's very painstaking. Blancpain is a company that only makes a fraction of the watches that you see from the big names in the world. Everything is done very painstakingly. And one of the things that they talk about a lot with their watches is that one watchmaker makes an entire watch. It's not like an assembly line where you have dial makers and movement makers and case makers. You've got master watchmakers making it the old school way and one person making the entire watch. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm just stunned when I think about what it must take to make a watch like this. It's a great sized case. It's 42 millimeter. The thickness on it is, 13.5 millimeters. So when you look at it from the side, it does have some heft to it. I mean, it is an 18 karat gold watch with a heavy movement in it. And so you'll definitely know that it's on your wrist. When you look at the dial, the layout is beautiful. You know I love a symmetrical dial. It has the Roman numerals and it has the watchmakers for. You have the moon phases at 6 o'clock. And this has got one of those fun little faces on the moon. You don't really see it. It doesn't jump out at you unless you look at it with a loupe. But it is a perpetual calendar watch. So it has the cycle of the leap year indicated at 12 o'clock as well as the month. It has the day of the week at 9 and the date at 3. Now, being a company that is founded in a little village on the French side of Switzerland, of course, they use these French names for everything, which sound very sophisticated to us as Americans, but they're also intimidating for you to buy a watch with a name that you can't pronounce. So I'll take my best whack at it, but hey, you don't have to be able to pronounce it to be able to wear the watch. But the watch series is called Villeret, which is named after the village that the Blancpain was founded in and still operates out of. The watch is called a quantième, which means day date. Perpetual, well, of course it's a perpetual calendar. 8 jours, which is 8 days. So what that tells you, it's a mouthful, but it tells you this is an 8-day power reserve. It has 192 hours of power reserve. How they do that, I have no idea. But it is a automatic watch. You can see the rotor on the back here in the case. And so if you're going to have a perpetual calendar watch, it's nice for it to have a really long power reserve so that you don't have to reset all those things. Now, one of the things that they have saved you the trouble of with this movement is that everything's sort of locked together, similar to the IWC perpetual calendar we talked about before. And so you can't really mess this up. But one of the great things, and I love this, it's a patented system that Blancpain came up with themselves, is that they have these under-lug adjusters. So instead of having a little tool and a divot on the side of the case to adjust each thing in the perpetual calendar, there's a little lever right under each of these lugs, and you just hook your fingernail under it and push it to the middle of the watch, and that adjusts each of the aspects of the perpetual calendar. So you don't need any tools. You don't need to lose that little pusher tool and then not be able to find it when you need it. You've got the tool right there on the end of your thumb all the time, ready to go. The case itself, it is 18 karat rose gold. It's a stepped case, so it has these beautiful lines here to give it some visual interest, and it's sort of a rounded case that gets smaller at the back of the watch, and it looks just really great on. It is a watch that isn't obtrusively big, but it's definitely a modern large size at 42 millimeter. You're not going to miss it on your wrist. And yet it's not something that is so big that it's going to limit the number of people that could wear it. It does come on the 18 karat gold double deployant buckle. One of the things that they've built into this is a lot of the modern features of the watch. It is water resistant to 30 meters. That means it's splash resistant. I mean, I can't even imagine anyone wanting to swim or shower in this watch anyway. But what that means is that if you get your hands wet when you're washing them or something like that, or get caught in the rain, it's not going to affect the watch. It's also anti-magnetic. It has the silicone hairspring. And this is a reference 6659 3631 55B. And as of this recording in 2022, it's still on the Blancpain website. You can read all the specifications of it there and then buy it at a huge discount at the SwissWatchExpo website. So love the watch. Give us a call. We'll be happy to go over all the details with you. We offer virtual appointments through FaceTime, WhatsApp, and Zoom. And we're happy to show you our store, the service center, our master watchmakers, and of course this watch. Order it from us and you'll see it coming to your door. Generally one day after paid order is received, you'll get it in your hand. So give us a call. Let us know which ones of these that drives you crazy. I know this one's immediately made it to the top of one of my lists.